and welcome to another live session, Marketing
Hi,
Net Live.
welcome back, everyone.
Okay, so here's the question for you. Are you frustrated with the amount of people coming to your site and not getting conversion or leads from your site?
Hmm.
This is the topic that we've been covering, and today we're going to talk about um, mobile friendliness, how that can be impacting the conversion that you are not seeing from your website.
Last week, if you remember in our previous live session, we went over diving into Google Analytics, how to see how many people come to your site, and then what they do once they come to your site. And one thing that we talked about was bounce rate, or if people, once they land on your site, do they convert? Do they click on the buy button, or do they read the blog to stay on longer? And as you review your analytics, hopefully you took some time to look in your own Google Analytics. Maybe you noticed that you were getting traffic to your site, but you weren't seeing the conversion that you like to see. People didn't stay on for a long time or they didn't click through to other links.
So, of course, this could be a big issue for you. Um, you know, Statistically, it's shown that a lot of people are spending a lot of time and money creating websites that are beautiful. But what's the point in doing so if you're not getting conversion? Um, when you have a website that is either cluttered with stuff or maybe, especially if they're on a mobile device, they're not able to actually use the site. In other words, you're really providing a poor mobile experience, and that can contribute to people leaving your site soon as they land on that website.
And a poor mobile experience is very important, or the mobile user experience in general, because 51% of people actually use their mobile devices, cell phones, smaller devices to browse the internet. And 90% of all internet users, they have access to mobile devices. So you have a good chance of at least some of your traffic coming from those mobile devices like cell phones. Additionally, a poor user experience can actually prevent people from even finding you in the first place because you won't come up ranking high on Google search. And this is because of Google's search mobile first indexing, which basically means that they look at your mobile site first to kind of see what content you have, and then they use that for the search results. So if you don't have a mobile site that's readable, or you didn't put a lot of content on that mobile version of your website, you're not going to show up in search to begin with. Oh, Karen, it looks like we can't hear you.
How about now?
Yep, there we go.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So obviously over the I think since 2014, Google has been putting a lot of emphasis on creating a good experience for browsers and for internet users, especially seeing that there has been a huge increase in mobile users. So I remember back when I think around 2014, mobile started identifying mobile friendly websites, right? They were putting that tag
Hmm.
right next to those sites. And eventually that went away, not because they stopped focusing on sites that are mobile friendly, but now it's become a, a requirement. So, of course, you've got your search engine ranking that's affected. But of course, if your site isn't mobile responsive, you can be losing customers.
Hmm. And one way you can start off by making sure your website is mobile friendly so that way you can increase conversion is actually try using the Google mobile friendly tester. And we're going to show you some examples of what may come up once you put in your site, because it will show you things that you need to improve on, or if your site is mobile friendly and optimized for people using their cell phones. So this is an example of a test we ran, and the results that came up for this website were not too good. The page said that the Google actually said that this website was not mobile friendly, but then it actually gives you reasons why. For example, the buttons were or clickable items were too close. So mobile friendliness is more than just making sure your website like shrinks down to the size of the phone. You want to make sure that the buttons are big enough so that that way people can click on them, that the text is big enough as well as the pictures. So in this case, the clickable items, they were too close together, so it was hard for someone who obviously is like tiny links on a smaller phone trying to click on the website. Another thing was that the text was too small to read. And this can be a problem if your text is too small to read on a mobile device. So, as you can see, using this test can not only help you see if your website is mobile friendly, but also give you a good starting point on where to change. And then the other picture, which we can put up, shows an example of what you'll see if your website is optimized for the web. And this is actually our website that we ran the test by. It does give you additional information in case you want to see how the site looks at different sizes. So you could on different phone sizes or tablet sizes. And anything else, Google resources that you can use. But hopefully, when you run your test through, you can get the green light. And if not, you at least know where you need to start. And we'll go ahead and put the link actually to the Google Mobile Friendly site test. We'll put that in the comments for you.
Now, you heard Jasmine mention the statistics of the amount of people who are, it's actually more than 50%, closer to
Mhm.
60%
It's
of your
51.
users are
Mhm.
average is using their cell phones to access your website. Now, if you want to see more accurate statistics for your business, because
Mhm.
it depends really, it fluctuates based on the type of industry you're in. You can actually go back into Google Analytics, and I'm going to show you a demonstration of where you can go. Jump back into Google Analytics. This is that demo account that I used last week. And if you expand audience, and under audience, expand mobile and click on overview. Now, remember, as I said, this is an example. And here you're seeing a combined, you've got about 31, over 31% of their visitors over a year's span of time is on a mobile device. You may find when you look at yours, your percentage rate is much higher. Again, this is a test account, so the numbers aren't very accurate, but in in reality, this would mean that 30% of their viewers, if the site is not mobile friendly, they can be missing out on 30% of the leads they could be receiving. So again, going into Google Analytics, expand audience. Remember, audience is the section that talks about the individuals visiting your site, whether you're looking at their device, the operating system they're using, the browser, their age, where they're visiting from. That's what audience covers. And in that area, expand mobile overview, and that's where you can see that comparison. You can also look over to the right-hand side because, as I said, if if you're offering a poor mobile experience for those mobile users, you may see a high bounce rate. So remember to pay attention to the bounce rate column and take a look and see what your bounce rate is like for those users. That can be a clear indication. Remember, Jasmine talked about usually when a site isn't mobile friendly, the buttons are too close together, the text is too small to read. So obviously, if someone's experiencing that, they're going to hit the back button. They're going to leave your site. And therefore, you will see that you have a high bounce rate, and the average duration on that site, on your site, by mobile users will be low. Now, once you correct the problem, you'll definitely see an increase in your bounce. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. You'll see a decrease in your bounce rate and an increase in the average time people are spending on your site. And I bet you'll probably even experience more conversions, more leads. You'll see results from these minor changes that we're talking about. Now, something else, there's one other thing that I wanted to share with them, right, Jasmine?
Yes, the Search Console.
The
So
Search Console.
as you move forward making these changes, or you feel like you are in a good place, you kind of want to keep up with the content that you're adding to your site or minor like upgrades you make sure that it's still mobile friendly. And this tool, the Google Search Console, can help you do this.
Exactly. And you log into through the same account that you use for Google Analytics. It's very easy to set it up if you don't have it set up yet for your site, but it's Google Search Console. And in Google Search Console, there is an area where it will identify any errors for mobile devices that, or I should say, that mobile devices are experiencing. And therefore, you can correct those error messages. But it also comes in handy, unlike the test. You test, you identify whether your site is mobile friendly or not, you fix the problem, but if something changes along the way, you make an update to your site and now it's no longer considered mobile friendly, you may not remember to go back and run that test again, but that's where Google Console would help you because it's constantly monitoring your site and it will identify any mobile friendly or lack thereof error messages that your site is having, and therefore you can take steps to correct it. So it's obviously important to pay attention to Google Console.
So as you can see, your site's mobile friendly or mobile version of your website can have a huge impact on conversion, what people do once they land on your site, and making sure that you're giving your users the best experience they can have if they're using their cell phone when they're viewing your site can ensure that you won't lose out on their business and they can find the information they need to continue to do business with you.
So here's my question to you. Is your website mobile friendly? We want you to check it out. Try for yourself. Click the link. We'll include it in, is it in the description, Jasmine, or in the comment section?
In the comments. Put it in the comments.
Okay, so write in the comments, click the link, follow it through to Google's mobile friendly test. Type in your website, run the test. If it is, congratulations. If it isn't, no need to feel discouraged because there are some steps that can be taken to correct that. But most of all, it's important that you stay on top of that. You're aware of that possible leak that can be costing you some leads, and you address it.
Well, till next week, we can't wait to see you all again, and hopefully, you can join us for another live session, whether you're watching right now or on the replay. We'll continue to dive into this topic of website traffic and also website conversion in the coming weeks as well.
Look forward to seeing you same time, same place. Make it a great week.